Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
I'm Derryl DePriest.
And I'm Brian Mix.
Darryl, you're concerning me. He's looking at his screen like he's really searching for something. Anyway.
Something's about to end on eBay. He's got to snipe it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's the Lost in Space auction. I didn't win that spacesuit.
Oh, yeah. I went for the giant life-size robot. I didn't get it.
I was going to look at those patches, but they even went for stupid money.
Yeah.
Like a set of patches would have been cool. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, we got a full house. All the regular and irregular Joes are here. We're going to talk about, the Book of Boba Fett has run all its 7 episodes, so there will be spoilers. I know we normally say that just for Derryl, but he's here with us. So for anyone else who cares,
and I'm not thinking he would have cared if we spoiled this for him, but we'll find out.
Let's see.
I watched it the day it came out. But the way spoilers work, guys, is you say there will be spoilers, and then you leave a few seconds for people to pause the podcast if they want.
That's right.
Barry, instead of saying there'll be spoilers, this person dies.
And here it is.
Here it is.
Yeah, there will be spoilers. There will be spoilers.
You have to
Vader's
react
Luke's dad.
to the fact there's spoilers. Anyway,
That'd be quick on your iPod.
Keep going, Dave.
They still have those?
Yeah.
They make those iPods.
I listen
still?
to all of my podcasts on a Zune.
Yeah,
I have a Zune.
the brown one too. You got the brown one.
Yes, the one that Star
Did
Wars
they make
got
one
at
in
the
brown?
end of,
We have the black one. Someone gave it to Pam. I'm like, keep that. It's gonna be a thing. All right, we'll talk about that. We got some other stuff. I guess let's go random.
Who wants to take it?
Todd, go ahead. I don't know what I'm assuming.
I'm
it's
not sure what Barry's talking about.
Neither. Neither do I. Todd, go ahead.
It seems this week it's more than less likely that there's going to be another JJ Star Trek film.
Is that it?
Go.
There you go.
I had to,
Well,
yeah.
JJ said it.
No, it is not more than likely. He said
it has been in the iffy category for a while, and in the last several hours, in the last 2 days, and even there was one updated just recently. There's a number of bits of information dribbling out that really sounds like it's actually going to happen. And
there was an investor conference yesterday where JJ said they're starting production this year, and it's going to come out holiday 2023.
But there's also an article that just came out that says Chris Pine's in talks to return. And so it's like, that. Yeah. It sounds like it's not locked yet. Certain things are not locked yet. It is.
What's he doing?
The other interesting thing, he's holding out for more money. The other interesting thing is
he's
that
not making another Wonder Woman movie. I tell you that much.
They're talking about maybe connecting it to the franchise as a whole. So
it is connected to the franchise as a whole.
Reconnecting it to the franchise as a whole.
Well, I mean, one of the other pieces of news with all this is that Viacom CBS is now officially called Paramount, so it's all back under one umbrella again.
Yeah, I've got this theory that Picard is going back in time to straighten out the split verse completely, and that might be why they're bringing these guys back, is to bring them back into the universe. So there won't be 2 universes anymore. They'll be back to 1.
This needs to be the storyline of less things.
I don't think they need to do that. I mean, it's fine. It's a different universe. Discovery should be in a different universe, so we don't have to see it anymore.
Well, but here's the thing, though. Discovery actually
I've solved that problem.
Discovery referenced the JJ verse at one point in one of the episodes. So,
yeah, I've always thought it was the JJ verse over there.
It's not undone by that time. It's 1,000 years in the future. So
yeah, how could they undo it in the past?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
I'm happy to see another Star Trek.
I would be very happy to see
Star
another one
Treks
as well.
I enjoyed that cast. I enjoyed those movies. Even the third one was fun.
Yeah, the first one was very good. The
first one was great. Yeah,
pretty good. The third one was okay.
I live with it and accept it as a separate thing. It's kind of like I said, as an offshoot. But honestly, in the grand spectrum of Star Trek offshoots, it's not. It's good. It's not.
Yeah,
like
it's better than anything on television right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that the first movie's better than most of the original and next gen movies.
Even the Khan movie was fine.
We've ranked these before.
We all felt we all felt like they tried to fake us out with the
we all
second
felt
one.
conned.
Yeah.
We all felt a little conned. But well, spoiler alert, and I'll wait 3 seconds. Did you see the Tribble in Discovery?
I didn't. No, I didn't. You spoiled it for me. I didn't watch.
Wait a minute. There was a Tribble in Discovery before. In the first
There's been
season, there was a
Tribbles.
Tribble in Discovery.
Oh, there was a Tribble in this last episode I watched.
I just won it in an auction for $8,000.
I think it was clearly a CG Tribble. So
I won that one too.
Unless you bought it as an NFT, you didn't win it.
Don't even. But
I think it would be fun, a fun twist of the fans' thought process if they did a Kirk Picard crossover with the two new actors
in the Nexus.
Bend your brain that way. Yeah, Kirk. That's like Picard. I'm sorry, I meant Kirk and Pike.
Oh,
Pike.
Kirk and Pike.
Oh, okay. Because I was
Pike.
thinking, wait, is the new Picard? Who is the new Picard?
I was thinking about Picard going back in time, and no, Pike. They could do a Pike Kirk.
They should
crossover with them both young.
reboot Next Gen in the JJ verse. That would be interesting. And what's that? That dude can play. The dude who, what's his face? Professor X can play.
Oh, the guy that played young Professor X in X-Men movies.
James McAvoy could,
James McAvoy
could continue to just do cleanup on Patrick Stewart's roles.
Who would play Riker? Anyway, we'll save that for another show. We'll cast that. Okay. Next, Barry, what else you got?
Well, so I did have something else, but now that we just mentioned Picard, so are we all in consensus that was his voice at the end of the Doctor Strange trailer? It sounded like
sounded like him.
It's him. So here's the thing:
is it him as Professor X, or is they bringing him in as some other character?
It may not be the Prime MCU universe's Professor X, though.
Oh, could be.
Okay. So think about this: they just brought the Sony Spider-Mans into continuity, but as parallel worlds, parallel realities. So this is a way to do the same thing with the X-Men, the past X-Men stories, but also open the door for rebooting in this universe if they want to. Because now
it's just a little weird to me because I know that,
we're talking about the Doctor Strange trailer.
Yeah, the end of the Doctor Strange trailer that came out on the Super Bowl. There's a voice at the end that sounded like Patrick Stewart.
It is Patrick Stewart.
Good. Well, okay, but fine. And I like a lot of the X-Men movies, and I want to see them bring the X-Men into the MCU, but I never expected it to be the X-Men that we knew.
And Barry, this is so. There's two. They have two choices. They could ignore the existence of those films, and go somewhere else, or they can acknowledge them in some way and then go somewhere else.
Yeah, but what Todd's saying is, if the old X-Men movies all existed in the Tobey Maguire universe,
or another universe,
or whatever,
right. That makes sense.
And then they could reboot them in this universe. I think that's a good way to do it.
That means we can revisit those in some way if we want to, but we don't have to consider those like dead, broken branches.
That means if one of those actors wanted to come cross over in some way, they could.
They play this version of it where, like I said, we already know that there's two Doctor Stranges who look the same, even though several Peter Parkers don't look the same. So again, I think I think this is an interesting. I mean, this could basically bring every Marvel film ever into continuity, if not into the same universe.
Even though the TV movies with Captain America?
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking to see the Doctor Strange from 1978 be in canon.
Yeah.
So, no,
all right.
No, I'm not. Oh,
I just rewatched The Incredible Hulk.
Would that be great, though, if we find the world where that Doctor Strange is Doctor Strange?
How about if we find all of those 1970s, even Nicholas Hammond as Spider-Man in one universe of just like bad television universe?
Rex Smith as Daredevil.
It'd be perfect. They
looks
to do that.
Who has as Matt Murdock makes eye contact with people even though he's blind. It's like...
And that dude who played Thor.
Oh my God. He was the best. He was the best.
Oh my God.
That's the way to freak people out, man.
You
want to do that.
Okay, anyway. did you have something?
I did have
you
one
went
other
on a
thing.
tangent.
I know. Sorry. So I've never been a huge fan of the Star Wars expanded universe and the novels and everything. And I know I texted the two of you about this, but I didn't mention this. So my son clued me into this yesterday. Apparently there's a Star Wars novel coming out called The Princess and the Scoundrel, which puts Han and Leia Han proposing to Leia at the Ewok celebration at the end of Return of the Jedi. And they go on their honeymoon. Guess where? On the Halcyon, which is the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel at Star Wars land. So they are literally saying now that Han and Leia spent their honeymoon on that ship, so that will somehow play into the story that you play out when you stay in the hotel.
Jeez, I wonder if marketing had anything to do with that.
I wonder.
So let me tell you, if Han proposed anything that night by the fire around on the Ewok, land, it wasn't a marriage, okay? But
I just,
okay,
I mean,
we just burned your dad's corpse. How about?
I'm hoping beyond hope that hotel turns out to be an awesome thing that we all really want to go to someday. I'm not sure that it'll achieve that, but doing things like this and this just feels desperate. I don't know.
Well, that makes it good because it's like $6,000 a night, so you really don't want to go there.
No, and my son Josh is like, but Dad, Han and Leia boink there. We have to go. It's like, no, that makes me not want to go.
In fact, part of the stage show is seeing Kylo Ren conceived. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
It's like,
oh no.
So now that ship is
horrible.
supposed to be 40 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're building a storyline around that ship and the captain, and there was an article about the captain. I'm like,
so nobody's going to know this story, right?
No, of course not.
This novel's not going to be a New York Times best-selling novel. It's going to be an obscure thing.
It's going to be in every bedroom, like the Bible will be there on the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's funny.
The only way you'll know is if, like, on the TV, when you turn on the TV in the hotel room, if they're like running the history that you need to know. I mean, nobody's going to go in there knowing that.
I don't think you need to have anything.
This is all in universe. Is everything in Arabesh, and you have to just translate it?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
No,
Can you imagine you did a decoder ring for the menus?
Yeah. It's going to be in the brochures. It's going to be on the website. It's like, yeah.
Crazy.
All right, moving right along. Brian, what do you got? Darryl's giving me.
Yeah, mine's real quick. Is I know you guys knew about this, but I don't think you announced it. But back on January 26th, Hasbro announced that they had extended their partnership with Lucasfilm for future years for Star Wars, and they mentioned Indiana Jones, and they paid particular emphasis on Indiana Jones coming, quote unquote, coming back into the fold at Hasbro. I guess it went away because no one else I don't think has done any Indiana Jones toys in the ensuing years since Crystal Skull in 2008. But they are going to have new Indy toys out in 2023, and Star Wars is safe for a number of years in the future. It'll be a lot of years.
Wait, does Hasbro still make Star Wars toys?
Well, they make action figures, and that's been a key relationship,
yeah,
for so many years. So
they just made a Razor Crest that people are, flipping on the aftermarket for $1,000 already.
Yeah,
so
let's wait till what's in the box, and you might see one.
Nice. Brian, what do you got?
Oh, you guys kind of already mentioned it. The Lost in Space auction closed today. I did not win anything. I did not even bid on anything.
I was going to bid.
I've kind of lost my excitement for auctions because things have been going for such outrageous money. And although, strangely enough, that this Lost in Space auction, some stuff went for much less than I thought it would. Like a spacesuit without the helmet was $3,000.
Doesn't seem like
with the helmet was $30,000.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Wow,
incomplete versus complete.
The helmet, yeah, the helmets are $28,000. The suits are cheap.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So I didn't even look. I had it in my calendar to look today, and I'm like,
I really liked that show, but I don't know that I felt like compelled that I needed to own anything from it.
I thought about it, and I looked too late after the auctions were closed and looked at the prices, and like, the spacesuits went for reasonable money unless you wanted a helmet, in which case they were outrageous.
like I said, I would have bought like the patches if they were reasonable, and then maybe we each have 2 or something. But I didn't really bother. So anyway, what do I got? I got 2 things. One is, I know we've talked about it's not a genre show, but Barry season 3 finally coming back after
Hooray.
3 years.
Has it been 3 years? Wow.
It's been 3 years. April 24th, season 3 drops. I know we all like that show, or some of us do. This half of the screen, I know, does.
Love that show.
There you go.
Absolutely love that show.
That's all of us, most of us. Just for our, we'll get into it later, but I think that'll be more heated. But Boba Fett finale.
Did that
the
happen?
numbers, or if you can trust these numbers, which I think people giving numbers on streaming shows is kind of bullshit because only the streamers know. But they are claiming that the finale had 1.5 million households tune in, which doesn't seem like a lot, versus the Mandalorian finale with Luke when he was in it was only 1.1 million households. So that's interesting. So I think
I'm surprised at that. That's very
I don't
low.
believe those numbers. I think they're bigger than that. There's 129 million Disney Plus subscribers.
Yeah, why
my
would
guess
they
is
release
128 million are there for Star Wars stuff. So
yeah,
I could be wrong.
What was this? Just the day it came out? Numbers?
This was like only the first 2 days or something it was out.
That's interesting.
But besides the numbers, there's the compare and contrast is I'm surprised that the Mando did worse than.
I would be interested to see what the bounce numbers were on the Luke appearance that following week when a word got out that was what happened. Because
Spoilers.
I think there wasn't an urgency to seeing that episode, the Mandalorian episode, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was an urgency to seeing that, and then it became something that everybody had to see. So I don't think people are, I don't know that with streaming things, and you guys know this better, obviously, that there is that urgency to see it on that imperative to see it on the same day, unless there's something groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to something like Star Wars, people are so worried about hearing about something that they might, not want to know about.
Yeah.
Like I literally, and I didn't realize how hard it was going to be for me because I don't realize how many times a day I pick my phone up, but I didn't go on social media at all because the day that finale came out, because I really didn't want anything spoiled for me. And had I opened my phone, I probably would have seen 5 things that I didn't want to see.
What percentage of the viewership of that show do you think that is? You think that's 5%? You think it's 10% of the people that are that hardcore?
I think for the hardcore people, it's pretty high. I think
so.
I wouldn't want to have known a bunch of the things that when I scrolled through my Facebook feed, I'm like, oh, people are just posting pictures of things.
Well, let me say, you guys must never, ever change the timing of your show so you see the show immediately when it comes out and then record, because you ruin all the entertainment we get of listening to you guys predict something that we've already seen.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's
endlessly entertaining. Is he going to pick the suit or is he going to pick the lightsaber? I was like,
yeah. The best example of that is when you go back and listen to the WandaVision episodes where we had clue for 6 consecutive weeks. So,
or like when we say, "There's no way Grogu's going to be back in this episode." That'll be next
for that
season.
matter, there's no way Luke was going to appear.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and we got that wrong.
How would Grogu get back to him anyway? I mean, is Luke going to fly him with his extra?
I thought Luke was flying him.
Luke's going to fly. Well, I said the other day to the guys, I wonder if R2 does like Grubhub deliveries now also. So,
you know who delivers? Fanboy Collectibles.
But yeah, they do.
They will deliver anything you order. Check it out. Hot Toys Bat Pod in stock. Todd, did you order that?
Did you get yours yet, Todd?
no, you know what? I have at least 3 items coming. I don't know if I ordered this Princess Leia or whether I just thought about it.
I know you thought about it. Okay, moving on. Captain Marvel with the soccer mom haircut in stock. 2 Batgirl items on the front page. A Hot Toys Batgirl from Arkham something or other, and a statue. Todd probably has 1 or 2 of those. Quarter scale Bruce Lee figure, which Blitzway, which is making nice stuff. But check all that stuff out. They've got Derryl, what else do they have?
I think they have Pops, Dave. I hope they do.
Yeah.
Pops are huge. Statues, like you mentioned, Kotobukiya, plenty of that.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Sideshow, they got everything. Check those guys out.
1/6 scale figure speciality is what they do.
Exactly. Check them out. fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out. Their store in Newtown, Connecticut. Todd will be there to pick stuff up soon.
That's right.
And tell them the regular Joe's
truck up.
If you're driving there, I'll meet you for lunch. Not the audience, but audience too.
Sure.
Let us know. I'll meet someone for
Text
lunch.
Dave, he'll meet you for lunch. And
As
then
long as you're
can go
vaccinated,
shopping.
I'll meet you for lunch. There's a good diner right down the street.
Is it right across the?
Yeah, Dave and I almost got to eat
We
there.
almost
in
had
November.
lunch there this year.
I highly recommend the pizza place just across from Fanboy Collectibles. So
There you go.
And Todd, for the record, I did order that Leia statue, and I paid for it today, so it should be coming any day now.
oh, that's good.
I bought it. I ordered it like a year and a half ago, so whenever that was,
Yeah.
up for pre-order.
Okie dokie. That's enough of the cordial segments of the podcast. No.
No
So,
more Mr. Nice Joe.
so Book of Boba Fett ended. Spoilers is spoilers. If whatever. Go do something else. If
The last time we talked, the five of us, about this was after episode 3, I believe.
After episode 1.
Episode 1. Okay,
was it one?
and
It was
I
the,
know
the January show. Right?
Derryl was very vocal about his dislike for what he had seen so far. And I believe Brian has texted a little bit about not loving it. So I am curious to see how it goes. And I think based on last week's episode, Dave and I were still in the we really like it camp, and Todd was maybe a little bit on the fence. I'm doing the tail of the tape here. Before
That's fine. That's good.
Oh, you optimist, Barry.
Let's start with, as a whole, without even a whole rant. After you saw all 7 episodes, was it better, the worse, or the same for you two guys?
Which two guys?
Well, the two guys who hated it.
The irregular Joes.
So
the two guys who haven't been talking about this for 5 weeks.
So
We've been talking about it every
Are
freaking
you talking about
episode.
the season finale or the whole
All
seven
of it,
episode
any of
arc?
it, whatever.
As a
So-
whole.
You start okay. I'll go first. This thing started with one of the coolest, most mysterious bounty hunters in the galaxy. We saw a little bit of Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, right, where he got his armor back. So this was really the story of like what happened in the ensuing years, and then what happens going forward. I could not be more disappointed about Boba Fett. They took this great character and turned him into a mockery of what he had been in the universe, which is like completely the opposite of what they'd been doing with all of the other characters that they've introduced on the show. Literally introduced from nothing and turned them into awesome things. Here they started with a very exalted position and completely fumbled the ball. And I'm baffled why they made the choices that they did in this series. And it was a complete jumbled mess, in my opinion. But
Okay, that was more than I was asking for, but that's fine. That's perfect. That sums it up. Brian, do you want to say anything?
I do. The show got much, much better towards the end because Mandalorian was in it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And if Boba Fett is really 4.5 episodes. Really.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and the 4.5 episodes are terrible. I mean,
Let
this
me
cycle of Boba Fett going to visit, he goes to visit the mayor, and they rough up the guy at the front desk, and then they go back the next episode and go to visit the mayor, and they rough up the guy at the front desk, but the mayor's not there, so they chase the guy at the front desk, and then he becomes part of their team, and it just meandered from there.
Do you think, and I know we touched on this briefly, do you think, and no offense to the dude, Tamara Morrison, or however you pronounce your name, was he just incapable of like carrying this show and they kind of had to shoot around him?
Absolutely.
I think they got in over their head before they realized what they had to work with. And
I'll ask Barry that same question, regardless of you liking it or not liking it. And I'm not saying I hate it as much as these guys, but he was not great. I mean, I'm wondering if they're like, geez, we can hardly get this guy to freaking, carry a scene. What do you think about that?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think that he's got certainly a very limited range, I would say. I do think, you guys will laugh, I think he is very charismatic, for whatever that's worth. I think that he tries to embody that character. He's not my favorite thing about the show. I mean, but I wish he kept the helmet on more often. I think he's better with the helmet on than with the helmet off.
I feel like they put Boba Fett in Mandalorian, and he was so incredibly popular. They said, "Oh, we got to write a show around this guy," and they were stuck with the actor, and they dashed off some scripts. Really, because I saw it written by Dave Filoni. It's like, really?
That's what
was written by. Really?
I don't even think. I think
it was written by Favreau too.
Favreau
looked shocked by that.
Favreau wrote all of these.
That's what I meant. Written by Favreau.
I don't think Filoni wrote. Yeah, Filoni
directed one or two of them.
The Luke episode.
And Robert Rodriguez. I mean, this is not like
they looked at the Robert Rodriguez episode and they said, "We got lightning in a bottle here. Let's run with this." Okay. Without stopping to think what they actually had was it complemented the Mandalorian perfectly. Okay, in the way they used him in that episode, but everything that came afterward was deconstruction. It was deconstruction of myth. It was deconstruction of everything we thought we knew about him. It chiseled away at the vestiges of what was the reputation of Boba Fett, to the point that it was just,
I honestly think the problem started when they sat down with this series to figure out what they wanted the character to be. I don't think it was Tamara Morrison at all. What they tried to do is turn Boba Fett from this, this really, I don't want to say obscure, but this mysterious mercenary, this man of few words, this man of action, into this sympathetic character. Right? It was this whole series was about turning him into a sympathetic character who had feelings and concerns and was kind of trying to build an Ursat's family. Man, did they pick the wrong character to try and orchestrate that? That character arc.
To spin.
Go ahead.
Sorry, to spin this for a second. Okay, if he had done what he had done, okay, without the armor, if he'd hung up the armor and said, "I'm going to take out Bib Fortuna. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I mean, I've new ways. I'm going to try this other stuff." And then when the shit went bad, he puts the armor back on and he goes out and kicks ass. Okay, kind of the Unforgiven kind of thing. Something like that, but to be Boba Fett, but not really be Boba Fett. There was a dissonance there that didn't work.
If they had, we talked about this before, if the first episode of The Mandalorian was Boba Fett crawling out of the Sarlacc pit and Pedro Pascal played Boba Fett and The Mandalorian was Boba Fett going through that exact same journey, it would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And they just blew it with this actor and this storyline.
What I will say, because I know we're gonna spend more time on this, and what I would just say is, I can totally see the flaws in this show. So in any of the comments that I make, I'm not trying to say that I don't see all the flaws in it. They just don't bother me as much. And I don't know why, because I can be very critical about things that I like. I don't know why it doesn't bother me as much, but I will say this. One thing that really I thought that they might answer and they never answered from the beginning of this all the way to the end. What was the beef that Boba Fett had with Bib Fortuna? Why did he feel the need to go kill him in the first place? And why did he feel that was his territory? They never really answered that, which it's funny. All the things that bothered you, they don't bother me as much. That bothers me. That there was no motivation whatsoever for him to do
the whole
this.
reason to be all the stuff that's bad in the show to me is him. I even liked the flashback stuff. It was interesting with the Sand People, and that had a little more interest to me. But as soon as he got to be, I am in charge now, almost every single part of that, except for Ming-Na, is horrible. It didn't make any sense, and it was just why go? And it didn't answer any questions. And it just there's a bunch of ways to do it, and I
thought we were going to see a flashback where Bib Fortuna screwed him over. I really did. a transitional
he
thing.
even says that Bib Fortuna screwed him over, but we have no idea what it was.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like
Bib could have
he
looked for him
refused to give
in
his
the
ship back,
Sarlacc.
or he did something.
Yeah.
Was something happening? Just they just missed beats that would have tied this all together.
They didn't explain it. They didn't explain it. I mean, Bib could have, I guess, taken Skiffs out and looked for him in the Sarlacc pit, but he didn't. I don't know. Was that
I'm
why he
pretty
was
sure
mad?
that
there's
the understanding that if something goes into the Sarlacc pit, you don't go in after it.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
done.
it's gone.
You don't go looking for him.
But
Yeah,
so
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah.
Yeah. So, but given my background and been in so many meetings about this stuff, about Star Wars, at the back of my mind, I mean, I'm hoping that the direction this show took, they were trying to have it both ways for the sake of merchandising, like to create a merchandising juggernaut. And having it both ways means Boba Fett is a badass. At the same time, they're laundering him to be this, this character you look up to. It's like a
benevolent.
That's what I felt they were trying to do also, because there was that as soon as there were times when it was like, I'm trying to be the good guy. I'm trying to listen to people. None of that went anywhere. Where do you murder a dude in the street?
Moments of reflection, and you didn't see moments of you didn't see where, like, other than the time he spent in the tub, you didn't see like him struggling with this journey. You didn't see
that. Okay, Todd, that's exactly right. I've been in so many Hollywood writing classes and pitch meetings where the hero must do A to save B to avoid C. You cannot finish that sentence with Boba Fett. Indiana Jones has to save the Ark to keep the Nazis from taking over the world. All right,
I said it a couple shows ago that I was hoping that it would pay off, and I'm maybe this is the eternal optimist in me, but I'm almost wondering now if this doesn't somehow pay off at the end of season 3 of The Mandalorian.
I hope they're done with this.
I have a funny feeling that they're not. I mean,
I think all the stuff
they're setting up a storyline where somebody is going to be the rightful heir to Mandalore and go in there with the Darksaber and rule Mandalore. And I wouldn't be surprised if they set Boba Fett up to do that. And that is why they needed to soften his character.
They're going to walk
so
away.
that he can
We're
do
never
that.
going to go back to Tatooine in this time frame. I think everything that we wanted to see happen did happen. It just happened to happen while we were following The Mandalorian. So all this stuff that should have been seen on screen was going on for those 2 episodes, and we just never got to see it.
And that's a weird thing,
I'm glad
too.
we had those episodes. Those were great. I'm actually glad.
It's just what I say. It's like if you
They're
look
so
at
out
this
of
as
context with
5
what's going
episodes
on
of
here.
Boba Fett and 2 episodes of The Mandalorian. You had 2 great episodes of Mandalorian.
Hey, a lot of people online were complaining about Luke in that episode, training Grogu, and that was just, I think, one of the best Mandalorian episodes of all. I mean, up there with the finale. It was,
if
it was a
Mandalorian,
Mandalorian,
blew me away. It was
loved
fantastic.
It's just it's I still think it's odd to me. I just part of me I'd love to know the real story of they're like, oh my god, all we have in our hands is a piece of shit. We got to pivot. Because they just don't make sense to be there.
I said to you guys, if this was Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, and they had the Mandalorian be, the A plot or the B plot even, and they had these 2 stories in parallel,
the B plot,
and they end up together, this could have worked.
They could have just taken everything they had there and edited it the right way, but they still have the problem.
But then it was just
Boba Fett is the crime boss is awful.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Now we'll just put this.
This feels like what I was saying before. Maybe that's exactly what they were doing, and they went, "Oh, this Boba Fett's so popular. Let's expand that part into 3 more movies, just like Lucas did with the first 3 Star Wars movies. It's like, let's stretch that what would have been 1 movie into 3 movies." And I think that's what they did. They just tried to stretch Boba Fett's character out. It was too thin, and it was really obvious.
I've always said I don't like this character, and I was right.
But Dave,
too much was made of this character. It was it's a 2-scene character.
But it is also a character that had, because he was introduced in advance of being on screen, because his action figure was out there before the character was. Okay, this character has always been preceded by expectations, whether he met those or not. Okay, I mean, I think the only other parallel in this universe is Captain Phasma, but it's not even to the same degree. Where it's like everyone had their ideas about who this person was before we saw this person on screen.
Yeah, but you know what? Captain Phasma is a fair comparison from a marketing perspective,
right?
But not from an on-screen perspective, because everybody hated the character on screen, and everybody loved Boba Fett, even though he didn't have a lot of screen time.
Anything. But I'm saying, but the difference is they maintain the mystique to some degree with the character on screen. Okay, I think part of where he suffered on screen was they changed the idea of what they were going to do with him, and he died like a bitch.
I've consumed a lot of the expanded universe, lore of Boba Fett that they've written. Brilliant writers have done brilliant things with Boba Fett, and so yes,
not this Boba Fett though.
Fantastic stories. This is not anything like that.
But I wonder if that contributes to why you disliked it so much, because I know a lot about that lore. I never read the books, but I know the sort of summaries of it all, and they wiped all that out years ago. Like they've said that we're not going that way.
You missed my point completely. You can take a great character and write great stories on them. This is not. They took a great character and turned him into somebody I care nothing about. I don't understand his motivation. They didn't take me on a journey to understand the motivation. It was very hit and miss. From a storytelling standpoint, this was a train wreck, metaphorically and symbolically, with that train in episode 2, right?
This was an elevator pitch of a concept. This was an elevator pitch of a concept that was never fleshed out.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Oh, and I've said this before. It's not a Western. It's a gangster story. It's like,
and precisely,
it's not a gangster story.
They tried to change a character that worked, that was great.
And he's a C-level character, or not level, but he's a background character. He's not a main guy.
Well, he was intended to be the villain in 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. But they changed. They tackled.
You want to know, that came from Starlog when they saw the original concept for Boba Fett, and they're like, "Oh my God, here's another masked character. He's the next Darth Vader." Yeah. The press said that, and
no, that's a direct quote from George Lucas that he was
George,
he was gonna kill Vader and Jedi. And then in the next movies, Boba Fett was going to be the bad guy chasing them around. But when he decided not to do the last 3 movies, he just killed him like a bitch.
And he had 2 scenes in those movies. Yeah, it's just not a character people thought he was.
And putting aside all the novels and all that, they did expand the character of Boba Fett quite a bit in Clone Wars and in animation. So, which you didn't watch, Dave, so you don't have that context for the character.
But all that supports what Derryl said.
I'm not denying what Derryl's saying.
What I'm saying, Barry, that's more consistent with the Boba Fett we were hoping for than the Boba Fett we got.
I will say, him running the Rancor was pretty awesome.
I felt bad for the Rancor. Why would the poor Rancor have to get all beaten up like that? You know what?
And just obviously, I liked it more than the rest of you, and that's not surprising to anybody, but. I think that there were just so many cool things that I did like, and sequences that I liked, and elements of it that I liked. But I heard this comparison somewhere else, but it really summed it up for me. Like, there were elements in there of my favorite things. Like, so if I were to think of them as food, I love Italian food, I love Mexican food, I love sushi, I love Japanese food, I love all these different kind of foods, but I don't want to eat them all in the same meal.
Yeah.
And this was like they took all these things that I love and they smashed it all together and made it something that maybe was not as tasty.
That's a very apt way of putting it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Barry, would you?
And they gave you a saucer of each.
Yeah, it was like they took all those foods and put them on the same plate. I don't want to eat them on the same plate.
Barry, are you going to go back and watch episodes 1 through 4 again? You think you're going to go revisit those episodes?
I've rewatched all of them more than once.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did. And like I said, I can see the flaws, and I can't deny any of the arguments you guys are making, but they don't bother me as much.
I think
because I enjoyed what I saw.
I don't hate it as much as everyone, because I never expected much out of this character. I've never liked this character. I thought there was a lot of fun stuff, and I was fine with that. I do unfortunately see the flaws in the storyline, the writing, and even the finale. I'm watching it with Mark and Pam. I think Mark was here too, right? Anyway, and I'm like, it's just, there's a lot of cool stuff, but it just felt a little flat because there's a little forced to me.
So moving away from the character stuff, I'm going to throw one thing out the finale. No one involved in the production of this thing has ever read anything about urban warfare. It's like
clearly
every single scene, everybody clustered together on both sides. It was like, okay, if there's 3 of us, let's all 3 stand together. Now there's 4 of us, let's all 4 stand together. And then people would fall off and other people would step into their positions and they'd get shot.
And a weapon that can blow up a vehicle but can't shoot through a wall.
Concrete. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like,
what do you do if you have 2 people on jetpacks who suddenly get above everything? What can you do now that you couldn't do before? You clear out everybody on the rooftops, all the snipers.
Yeah.
Yet they didn't bother with those. They just keep shooting at the guys.
When that happened, I was like,
because they're further away.
Yes, this is the
strategic.
This is
strategy.
The whole tactical advantage of Mandalorians, and it's like, well, once and done, we're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of just landed back down on the ground
in the same spot.
Constantly.
There was also two
shooting.
times when strategically both of them could have gotten out of the way of something happening. The Mandalorian one was really ridiculous when Grogu saved him. It was like, okay, you're just sitting there staring there. Okay, oh, this thing's going to kill me. Come on. Okay. Now, oh, saved. It was like, was that like a confidence building thing for the kid? I mean, it's like he could have rolled out of the way. There's no reason he couldn't have rolled out of the way.
But as Brian said, take all of it out at face value. Those scenes with the Rancor were pretty epic,
awesome.
I thought.
Yeah.
Well executed. It didn't look cheap or cheesy at all. Those scenes where the Rancor was ripping that droid apart and stabbing its eye and all that.
And the fact that it was a callback to the first time we ever saw Boba Fett in actually animated form. I mean, even that was cool.
They saved that episode.
There was cruelty to Rancors in this.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question.
And when you think about, like, what did we ever see a Rancor do in Return of the Jedi? Like, we know they're vicious, but really all we did was see them eat people. Like,
they're sweet, Barry. Didn't you see that episode where he was petting?
Well, they are sweet.
They're sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and look at little Grogu. He curled up next to him and took a nap next to him.
There you go.
They're sweet. I could have done without the obvious King Kong reference. It was a little too heavy, I think.
You think? No.
There's a lot of on the nose references that they make.
It's just like the Frankenstein one in episode 6 was a little too.
Derryl, 95% of the people watching that don't know who King Kong is.
Probably.
They've certainly never seen the original.
The Jack Black movie, you mean?
Well, it's clear the Book of Boba Fett filmmakers love their classic film homages. So
yes.
I just don't know. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's like they never knew what this was. You can do a throwaway like that. You can do a throwaway like that when you've got a handle on what's actually happening. But when it's all over the map and you do things like that, it's just
I think
is this a police squad movie? You
could take those first 4 episodes and cut them up and cut all the Sand People parts out and sprinkle them into a Mandalorian timeline. It would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Mandalorian is as good as it is, and this by the same people is as bad as it.
There's a tremendous amount of acting going on inside of that costume, which is made so evident. If you look at these things side by side, just the walking, the gestures, the everything, the actors, because I'm not going to say one actor, the 3 actors in that costume perform is so different than
it's also it's the writing too. I mean, let's not.
It is. Yeah. But he's selling who that character is all the time, and I don't think he ever looked comfortable in Boba's suit. I really don't. I think he looked like a cosplayer who didn't quite fit his costume, and was not even like his walk did not convey confidence. It was.
I wonder if he's claustrophobic. That's why he had the helmet off.
I mean, quite honestly, if you compare his walking to Boba Fett in Return of the Jedi or in Empire Strikes Back, he's walking and standing just like Boba Fett did.
No, but I'm saying he had to get beyond that because all he did was walk and stand. Okay, I'm saying there had to be for him to sell himself as this as the protector of this city, like I said, there's got to be some kind of confidence displayed other than, okay, let's go stand here. Let's go stand here. It just seemed like, I don't know. There was nothing confidence inspiring about this character.
This show gave us Cammy and Fixer. I don't know what more I could have asked for.
Okay. I can't argue with you there. I totally can argue with you there.
Who should be in their 80s by now? No, they weren't. I guess they were.
They wouldn't have been. They would have been. They were age appropriate.
In their 30s. They're space townies.
I thoroughly enjoyed this, flaws and all. There was so much fun Star Wars stuff in there. And it was a lot of fan service, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, maybe the thing to do is find a YouTube where someone's going through all the fan service, and maybe I'll enjoy it more. I missed the Cammy and Fixer part until you mentioned it. I didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
There were some cool droids.
There were some cool droids. I also felt like they went to the Rolodex and just dragged in every single character who they could still use. It's like, it was just like, oh. Well.
And we at least got to see Fennec Shand be the Master Assassin. I kind of like that.
Okay,
scene.
I will say that. It was like, I'm sitting there watching it. At least she's killing people.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gone for 20 minutes of the episode while she should have been up on a roof somewhere just pecking people off.
That could have been an even bigger scene with her. She deserved more, I think, rather than
Yep.
Did you ever think you'd see a hammerhead hung by the neck and have his feet dangling until he died? That was pretty crazy.
Some big ass feet.
That was cool.
Yep.
I don't know.
So.
Okay. Anyway, we got the Mandalorian to look. Oh, what do we have? We have Kenobi.
Oh, we got Kenobi coming soon.
Where was the Kenobi trailer?
Back to Tatooine once again, guys.
Yeah. So before we move on and close the book on the Book of Boba Fett. Okay. Derryl shared something with me recently. You want to tell him about this, Derryl?
Yeah. So on my last trip to Lucasfilm, I think I've told you guys before that periodically I would have bets with people at Lucasfilm, and I would win those bets. Usually they're related to fandom or something like that. And I would get prop replicas, but they slipped me. I really didn't think too much about this because it was just a paper item. It was a book with some Arabesh writing on it last time. And I just put it in my archives, and I found it, and I sent a picture over to Todd, and inside there was a lot of text. It was all in Arabesh. So Todd and I have spent the last month interpreting this.
So what it turns out that what this document actually was the diary of Boba Fett, which the Book of Boba Fett was loosely based on. And so Derryl and I, we've just got some excerpts from this here. So
we just pulled some of the key things out.
Okay. So here's we'll just start off here. Vader just captured Solo, but I get to claim the bounty. Score.
So the next entry of note is party on Jabba's sail barge. This is going to be awesome.
Okay. Crawled out of the Sarlacc pit, would have died for sure if not for my armor.
So next entry, mugged by Jawas, little furry. And then we couldn't translate that word. I think it was an expletive. I think it's an expletive.
Yep. Captured by the Tuskens. This day just keeps getting worse.
Finally accepted by the Tuskens. I have my own stick. Time to set up that protection money scam I've been considering.
Day one, Tuskens all killed. Need to rethink this plan.
That was like 5 years later, but okay.
Found a dying woman in the desert. I think I'll have her guts replaced with servos.
Okay. Stole my starship back. Shot some bikers in the back. Also, almost lost the ship in the Sarlacc pit looking for the armor that, come to think of it, I was actually wearing when I crawled out.
Got my armor back from that Mandalorian guy. Sweet.
Armor? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh, armor check. Ship check. Assassin sidekick check. Now I just need to shoot Bib Fortuna and convince everyone else I'm in charge. Cue theme song.
The only one in town who respects me is the hot tailhead chick at the cantina. Well, that's a start. Oh, and getting your helmet serviced is not what you think.
Got my ass kicked by assassins. Let them go.
Got my ass kicked by a Wookiee. Let him go.
Signed up Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I love their bright Power Rangers speed bikes. It may be time to repaint my armor.
The cantina is paying me for protection, and I just let the Wookiee rip that Tandoshan's arm off in front of everyone. Maybe next month I should offer a coupon.
Oh, I know. Let's have a Godfather-style summit. I'll gather all the other families. Never really ask anything of them, and just let them wiggle out of any commitment. What could go wrong?
Kind of bored. I wonder what Mando and the little green dude are up to.
Oh, so wait, the Pikes are the real bad guys? Was this explained somewhere? I'll just keep quiet and nod when it seems appropriate.
Still not feeling the respect. At least I still have the cantina. Wait, what just happened?
My old mentor, Cad Bane, is in town. I can't wait to see him.
Probably should not have let the Rancor run loose. This is a PR nightmare. Who knew they ate kids?
Cad Bane said he was confused by my motivation. At that moment, I felt millions of souls shouting out in unison. Was that the Force or critics?
Some days I feel like this armor is cursed. Maybe I should never have taken it off my father's headless corpse. Wait, why do they keep playing the Mandalorian theme?
And that's when the book stops. We don't have
That's where it ends.
That's
So-
better
Wow,
than
so
the
they knew all the way back
series.
then. Interesting.
I think they might have had an idea back then.
Yeah. So, anyways, so unreleased source material that we just had access to.
I love
Perfect.
it. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I can see all the flaws. I still enjoyed it.
You guys you should post the typed up version of that.
Yeah. Well, as you said, there's been times when we've said we should just like record our text. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
World reveal here.
So.
Okie dokie. Well, let us know what you think or whatever you want to say. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know something.
What more is there to say, quite
Anything.
honestly?
Say anything.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. What's in the box?
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
So let's see. Where should we go? Who wants to? Does anyone want to go first?
I go first. I got two things.
There you go, Brian. What's in
One
the
of
box?
them's regular Joe related. Todd was kind enough to send me this in the box,
Oh,
which is a
Yes.
great character that never existed.
yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi in Stormtrooper armor.
Sideshow.
Bone Trooper.
In
Clone
Clone
Trooper
Trooper
armor.
armor. Yeah, he was in the animated series, and I
Yes.
have a figure of Obi-Wan in the armor, and this is actually live action Obi-Wan in the.
Oh, I have a
armor.
statue of it right there.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Thank you, Todd.
Yep.
And
He freed up shelf space for another Obi-Wan, so it was a good
Todd
place
can
for him
only
to
have
go.
a certain amount of Obi-Wans at any given time.
And then I had an eBay search forever, and it finally came true, and I got one of these.
Oh.
Ooh.
This is the all metal
Airsoft?
Airsoft, the all metal airsoft.
Oh, that's an airsoft.
There's
Holy
one in this
smokes.
closet that I've never displayed.
That's
Really?
incredible.
It weighs a ton.
Text me what you
That's
paid
nice.
for it.
Really cool. It's really cool. It's very accurate. There's a few things that need to be fixed on it, but
Yeah, the
otherwise
ribs
it's,
are too short, right?
ribs are too short.
Wait, I understand those things by nature aren't accurate because I've never actually seen anyone hit someone with one. So
Yeah, I should display
it's
mine.
very cool. A friend of mine many years ago, Bruce Wegman, made a metal one of these, really nice reproduction, and I weighed a ton, and I always loved it, and I always wanted one, and I saw these go by and missed them when they went out, but then picked one up on eBay.
Yeah,
Have you said what it is
I was
yet?
gonna upgrade the counter and stuff, and I sort of never did it. But
I mean, they look
those
good out
for-
of the box, like what he's just holding up there. But yeah, you can definitely make them more accurate.
Yeah, and I will.
Yeah.
I have my Master Replicas one, which I've just loved since the day I got it.
I regret not having one of those. I have several other master replicas, but not that one. But
Yeah.
that looks great, Brian.
yeah,
it's really nice.
you're
That's
gonna
awesome.
inspire me to take mine out.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Now that you have the tools and the ability, Dave, you can make a stand for it.
I could. I just have no place to put it. I'll have to find it.
Yeah, I got it.
Do you want me to go next?
Feel free to send me some Star Wars action figures to make room on the shelf for your blaster. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Derryl, let's see
So
what
I'll
you
go
got.
next. So I have two, like Brian. One is going to be quick, and I'm going to text you guys a picture right now. This is my what's not in the box, and what I've just texted you guys is a picture of the massive amount of Marvel figures I just got in from. Can I mention Big Bad Toy Store? Yes, because they don't compete with Fanboy Collectibles in this space. So what I do is I buy my Marvel Legends from Big Bad, and then I have them saved in what's called a pile of loot, and then they ship it. Like you can hold stuff, I think, for up to 6 months, and the shipping is just $4. And
for
what I got
everything.
51 Marvel Legends figures. That's 5 Build-A-Figure waves. It was so big. It came in like 2 huge boxes.
Wow.
And what I'm showing you guys isn't even all the Star Wars stuff that was in there in those boxes. So I'll be unboxing this stuff for days. So that's awesome. So literally that's what's not in the box, because everything is in the box. But the second and real what's in the box, let me go get this for you guys.
There it is.
Yowza.
He's got the Razor Crest that we were talking about.
The HasLab Razor Crest.
Man.
So this week, the Hasbro Pulse Razor Crest came in, and it is unbelievable. I haven't opened the vintage box yet. I just took it out of its master carton. It is incredible. This thing is so detailed. So, and I had a little glimmer of hope in the Mandalorian. I mean, the episodes of Boba Fett featuring the Mandalorian, that he might get a Razor Crest someday.
Yeah.
That
He
Naboo
might still
Starfighter.
yet get one. Yeah,
That
he may
Naboo
get-
Starfighter is cool, but he really wants to get.
He needs a ship he can live in.
To destroy.
But he needs a ship he can live in. He can't live in the Naboo Starfighter.
And carry carbonite slabs and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
bounty.
He can't do that in this.
I think he now needs something that he can fly the Naboo Starfighter into and park it.
That'd be great.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing is unreal. So that's what's in the box this week.
I've watched some unboxing videos and stuff and seen a lot of pictures of it as everybody's getting them and opening them. And it is interesting when you think about the lead times on these things, that they put that thing up for pre-order so long ago that the ship was actually still in one piece and in the show. And now by the time everybody gets it in their hands, they've destroyed the ship and it's not even in the show anymore. But
Barry, they destroyed it like literally maybe a month after the Kickstarter or the HasLab funded.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I mean, it looks incredible from everything I've seen, and it's huge. And like I was saying before, I mean, there were people that bought more than one, or there are people that bought one, and now that it's here, they can't keep it. And it's, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it was retail on that was like $350, and now they're selling for like $1,000. So
yeah, something like that. I just looked up the sail barge. The sail barge, the ones that are selling on eBay now are selling for around $3,500.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I've seen them. Yeah. I've seen them selling for about $2,000.
No, look on eBay for the sold. The minimum now, the recent transactions are all around $3,500.
That's crazy. I mean, great. It's great. I mean, for the people that I mean, and I've seen arguments about this online already, and the reality is, people put their money down and gambled on this, and sometimes you win and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, but it's not like it's Spider-Man #1. Like, you could have got it a year ago or 2 years ago.
Well, you could have, but you had to be in at a specific point in time, and it was only open for X number of weeks. And if you didn't get in, then you can't go back later and buy one. So,
but they open those windows pretty long. I mean,
no, they do, but you got to. I mean, something like Star Wars, there's new people getting in all the time, and there are people that have been in it for 2 years that missed that.
I've seen I've seen the Facebook Messenger group say, "I'm a Star Wars fan, but I didn't know about this." Then you're not a fan. You're just not on social, media. You're going to miss it. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or listening to this podcast, because we talked about it and gave fair warning to people, and they should have seized.
We did.
More people.
I don't know that they'll ever do anything as amazing as that sail barge again. They'll do amazing things, but that sail barge is. I mean, and I don't have one, but I've seen them and they're spectacular.
Yeah, yeah,
they're real and they're spectacular.
Yes,
Derryl, we mentioned the Naboo Starfighter. Do you know anyone who's got a gigantic one of those?
Well, I used to have two, Todd. I don't. Oh,
you don't anymore. I was wondering if those made the trip.
No, I left them at an auction house in Rhode Island. because I just didn't want to transport them down here. I didn't have space for them. So
I bet the value of those just went up substantially.
I think they probably did.
Well, the value of the regular toy is it went from like you couldn't give it away to now it's selling for over $200 in the box.
Yeah. Yep.
Because of that episode of Mando.
Yeah.
Yep. It suddenly has become very cool.
Yeah.
And remember, they're all handcrafted.
This is true.
I wonder if Hasbro has warehouses full of those, like the old ET games at Atari.
No,
And they just that's why they put it in the show.
No, they were all sold. And the last time when we did it, so when we did the last Naboo Starfighter, which was in 2012, I think it was part of the Your Adventure in 3D line that went to Walmart. That was a spectacular vehicle, all new tooling, all rebuilt for that collection, and we sold. It's the Naboo Starfighter. We didn't sell a ton of them, but it's sold out, so there's none in the warehouse. But that's a really spectacular vehicle. That's the one that I hope people are, really paying big money for because it deserves.
And it is. I got to say, it's very. I like that ship. I like that craft, and I think it's very cool that that's what he's got. And it's that it's a hot rod, and it's kind of cool, but it's also got that neat kind of heritage thing to it too. So I think in one way or another we'll be seeing that for a while.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I've seen a lot of people now taking, because there was a model kit of that ship, and I've seen a lot of people customizing it now to make it look like the Mando's version of it, which is really cool.
And you would have to customize because there's a lot of differences. A lot of like exposed things that weren't exposed on the other, and not quite to the degree that when they showed us what the Y-wing fighter looked like in its original form, and the
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot with 3D printing, there are people that are able to, because you'd have to expose panels and add all kinds of stuff to it and put the exposed engines out the top. But I've seen models that people are doing of it, and it's amazing.
Cool. Todd, what's in the box?
So this is something I picked up not long ago, and it's very sort of in the box, but not really. So every once in a while, I'll give a audiobook suggestion, and every once in a while, I like to buy a really long audiobook. So I've just got something that I can just go back and hit whenever I want to. It's like this is the H.G. Wells, the science fiction collection. It's 27 hours and 15 minutes, and it's basically all his well-known stories read by David Tennant, Hugh Bonneville, Jason Isaacs, and a bunch of other people that you've heard of. They're really, really good. Jason Isaacs does The Island of Dr. Moreau. And they're all stories that I know, but these are great readers, and it's all just together. And so this is one of those things I'll just put on one time and just kind of sit back and listen to it. David Tennant does War of the Worlds, which I've listened to by a dozen different readers, and it's great. So if you have not joined Audible and you want to join for a month for free and score your free book, which you get to keep, this is a really good suggestion because it is, like I said, 27 hours and 15 minutes, and they're great stories. You're not risking anything on them. So, but yeah, really, really great collection. And again, all these have been recorded before. I've listened to all of them before multiple times, but this is really, really terrific. So, I don't remember the woman's name who does The Invisible Man, but it's absolutely great. So, yep, that's my pick. Who's Barry? What do you got?
I've got. I'm going to do two things also. I've got, and I have ragged on Funko Pops a lot, and I still consider myself not a Funko Pop collector by any stretch, but I have now gotten quite a few. I like movie directors, as Dave and Todd do, and musicians, and I got the Eddie Van Halen Funko Pop in the mail the other day.
Nice.
And he's awesome. He's got the little Frankenstein guitar. He's got he's in a jumping position. He's actually got a little stand. If you take him out of the box, you can display him in mid-kick up in the air. So he joins my wall of musician Funko Pops. And then the other one, just a real quick shout out. I got my vintage collection archive book from author Derryl DePriest finally in the mail after waiting quite a while. I'm happy with that. I have not looked for my name in the back there yet, but I think it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm glad it arrived.
Yes, finally happy to have it.
Thanks for the support.
Dave, what's in the box?
Okay, I have an action figure which I haven't completely unwrapped, but this is the X06 Captain Picard.
Oh, sweet.
That came yesterday from Fanboy. Have any of us got any of their figures? This is the first one I have.
The Doctor is shipping. I just saw the Doctor from Deep Space Nine is shipping, but
I think it's good. I think the head sculpt is good, but I don't love sort of the expression. His eyes are a little closed, and he looks very serious. If you could see that.
Yeah, but this is like
it looks
the
like
Borg are coming, Captain Picard.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm about to surrender, Captain Picard.
You know, it's interesting. And I'm thinking this. If you look at the suit, it's hard to tell because it's black, but it's very straight and there's no wrinkles, which I know they tried to do that in the show to make it look as if it's futuristic.
The Picard maneuver.
Yeah, everything is very padded. So this fabric has got like foam on the inside to stop it from wrinkling, which is interesting. Because I'm touching him, and his whole body, even the legs, have this padding around them.
The original series figures were like that too, though.
Were they? I didn't even remember that.
You just grope yours less than I grope mine.
Yeah, I guess. But they did a good job with it. The costume's nice. It's got nice detail in sewing. It's got that micro Velcro closure, so it closes nice and flat and stuff.
I almost wonder if they shouldn't have given you 2 head sculpts on that so that you could have a more serious one and then maybe one that's a different expression.
Yeah. So it comes with 6 extra hands. It comes with the phaser rifle. Comes with the hand phaser. It comes with the tricorder. It comes with the it's on a piece of foam. The vest that he wears when he's fighting. I guess he's wearing just this, and he's fighting against the Borg. This is you can feel the material's got this foam on the inside. It's interesting. Even the badges are nice. It's nice. For this is one of my favorite Star Trek movies. So I don't love. The head sculpt's well done. He just looks angry. Don't be so angry, Captain.
I really like and respect the approach they're taking, but I do worry a little bit that, like, when this early in the line they're doing the Doctor from Voyager, like, is that such a popular character that
it is a popular character, and that's it's they're skipping around and they're doing, they're
doing Q, they're doing a lot of the captains, they're doing Locutus, they're doing Evil Spock. Like, those are great to me. Every one of those I'm on board with, but I just worried a little bit when I saw, like, they went right to they did Janeway and now they're doing the Doctor. Like, I would have thought there were other characters.
The obvious other place to go there was 7 of 9, and those are the 3 most popular characters from that show. So they're probably trying not to have it all come out of the box, cover them all right out of the box.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want them to do well because I think that there are some great figures that could make nice additions to the ones that came already from the previous company. But...
Yeah, we should talk about this. Which ones we would actually want? I think we started to one time, but I would love a Dax. I think that would be great.
Dax, I would totally love.
I would.
You want that one to be padded under the uniform too, right, Dave?
Again,
no, I want that to be just completely.
I would also get the Dax in the original series uniform. So,
that would be great.
I would have someone make that uniform for that toy, and I could be me. I may make it myself. Fact, I could sew a dress.
Dave, I have the Uhura Barbie that I've never actually opened. I'll give it to you.
I have it
used as a pattern.
I have it too.
Yeah,
it would fit on her. It'd just be super tight, just like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but you could use that as a pattern to make your own. So cut it up.
I have that upstairs.
The Locutus figure looks. I can't wait for that one.
I don't think I got Locutus. I know I got Mirror Spock.
I don't think Locutus actually went up for pre-order yet. I think they just announced it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm happy with it. It's they definitely did it. It's quality. I do like what they did with the costume, with the uniform, but yeah. So check it out. That I don't know if it's in stock at Fanboy. I know I didn't see it on the list, but if you want one, check them out. They may have it. Okay. just not trying to say a last thought, but it always is the last thought. We lost Ivan Reitman suddenly this past week. He was only 75, died in his sleep, I think. I don't know the details. I think it was totally unexpected.
And he had just been making the rounds not that long ago, helping promote Ghostbusters. So,
yeah, for sure.
He'd been back in the spotlight quite a bit.
Yeah,
earlier in the year or last
but he's
year.
sort of this name that I've heard ever since I've been watching movies. I think. I mean, geez, know. And
I went back through his IMDb both as a director and a producer, and that sort of formative period. When I was like a teenager, young, and that whole series of movies that he made. I mean, all the way up through. From Animal House, Meatballs, Stripes, like all those movies. Like I forget that he was so involved in all of that.
Yeah,
not to mention all the movies that came later. But
some of the movies he's done are in one of my top genres. Stripes, definitely one of my top favorite comedies. Certainly Ghostbusters, one of my top favorite comedy science fiction movies.
Action comedies.
Comedy. Any other movies that I know those are the biggies? Obviously, anyone that pops out.
Animal House is awesome.
Yeah.
I've got one that's definitely not a one that you would think, but he produced a movie called Casual Sex.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that? Leah Thompson and Andrew Dice Clay has a great, very memorable role in that movie. Such a good. I mean, it's a movie you don't even see playing on cable much anymore. But I mean, he also was very instrumental in getting Howard Stern's movie made back in the day.
Very much so. He talked about him this week. I was listening to it.
I mean, good stuff. Even movies like Twins and Kindergarten Cop, I mean, for what they were, they were really good.
For their era,
what I like?
Good. They were,
the movie Dave, which it was super funny. That Charles Grodin, well, obviously Kevin Kline, Charles Grodin, Sigourney Weaver. I think that movie is a good, solid comedy. I've always liked that movie.
He produced Heavy Metal, which back in the 80s was. Oh, sorry, Todd. I was talking over you.
No, I was just saying he had people he liked working with, and he worked with them a lot, and so there's a lot of reoccurring actors throughout the course of his films, and so.
Yeah, I was just saying he produced Heavy Metal too, which I love that movie.
I did not realize that.
Yeah,
I did not know that. I do remember when I was working in the movie business in the 80s. Legal Eagles, not that it's a great movie, but that these sort of big Hollywood movies that were made in New York always stood out. And that's like the whole business, which was small. Everybody knew, oh my God, this is a big movie. Ivan Reitman's directing Legal Eagles in New York. Can you get on that movie? And certainly I was working on a TV series when Ghostbusters 2 was filming. And that was like the biggest movie in the world to be coming. I don't know if they shot all in New York, but
I know they shot some of it in New York because I was working on 57th and Madison at the time, and I came downstairs one day and the Ecto 1 or the Ecto 2 was parked right in front of my building. I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, they were filming.
Yeah, they were there for a couple. And I had a friend, I remember him, we met up and he's wearing the hat with the Ghostbusters with the 2. I'm like, I got to get one of those hats, but I never got one. Anyway, what's interesting enough? When I looked on his IMDb, you mentioned Twins. Triplets was in pre-production for him to direct, which was the sequel to that with a third brother, Danny DeVito,
Eddie Murphy,
Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
So he was definitely working on
if that movie will still happen.
I wonder if Jason will pick it up because I mean his son is directed a lot of good stuff, including the new Ghostbusters.
Yep.
So, well, rest in peace, Ivan Reitman. I've got his autograph on this Ghostbusters picture. Remember, I had bought that thing that had Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson, and he was the third signature. Bill Murray wasn't signing him, but yeah.
I mean, it was sad to hear it. It was surprising.
Yeah, it's very sudden. Yeah, good storyteller. It's sad.
Yep.
Any other last thoughts while we're all here? There doesn't have to be. Does anyone else have anything else they want to say? Okay.
I will say that they're already announcing guests for Rhode Island Comic Con, and they're not a lot announced yet, but they've announced Michael Rooker, Robert Patrick, and Carrie Jones. Anybody know who Carrie Jones is?
The guy who was
played the big Wookiee in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh. I was thinking
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum, yes.
There was someone else I thought too.
Those are the ones I saw.
Yeah, I can't remember.
They've announced a bunch of people for Chiller too. So Chiller in April.
Oh my God, that's Chiller. Leah Thompson's going to be a Chiller.
There's like 10 people from Back to the Future going to be at Chiller.
There are like
they just announced Peter Weller.
Convention people.
Peter Weller is going to be there.
Ooh, Peter Weller.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah,
and Christopher Lloyd. Like Christopher Lloyd's a Chiller, and someone else. Like people who don't usually go to Chiller. Oh
well,
I texted you guys that Christina Ricci. Like
Christina Ricci, and
not that I mean she's almost like a regular actress.
Well, and they're doing
Is a regular actress.
Will, Holly, and Chaka from the original Land of the Lost are going to be there.
Man.
Jesus. Will's still alive?
Will's still alive, and Deborah Foreman, who played the lead in Valley Girl, is going to be there.
Deborah Foreman.
Yeah,
We may have to go. When is that? April?
It's the last weekend. It's like it bridges April, and I think it's April 29th to May 1st.
We may have to go. I may have to go. I don't know about you.
And WinterCon. I'm going to WinterCon, March.
I think
12th
I'm going to
13th.
WinterCon. That's before I'm going away. So I think let's leave Monday. Yeah, Monday's a good day to leave. Not mentioning
Let's coordinate that because they just added more people to that too. I think Christina Loken and Nick Stahl from Terminator 3
I did see
are there
that.
now.
Nick Stahl out of his drug arrest and at WinterCon. No,
and the guy that played the original Michael Myers is going to be there too.
I'm not sure about that Nick Stahl. No offense. I like that Christina Loken though. We saw her at
we met her at Chiller many years ago.
Yeah. Let's figure that out. Saturday maybe be better. I don't know. Let's see what guests.
I've got one last thing. Is I watched the whole Super Bowl and did not get an Obi-Wan trailer. What's up?
Yeah,
with
I didn't
that?
get one either. That wasn't unique to the West Coast.
They're
waiting.
Obi-Wan
Super
trailer.
Bowl?
Super Bowl. Yeah, they didn't show one.
I think they're holding it for something.
Was it? It was on NBC though.
Well, it was on NBC. Yeah, that's why I think that was my text back. Is they're waiting for it to do it on an ABC property.
We did get the Moon Knight trailer.
Yeah.
They spent $7 million for that. Jeez.
And by the way, if you want a full look at the Moon Knight costume, okay, go on Amazon and look at the T-shirts that are for sale. The Marvel licensed T-shirts are for sale, which is the only place you can find images of the full costume. There's like 2 different poses. You can see a whole bunch of details that we haven't seen anywhere. So,
well, okie dokie. Well, thank you, dudes, for coming on. Always a pleasure, even though there's a lot of negativity. Part of the business.
Thanks for having me back after the January incident.
Yeah, that was a bit of fun. That was
one of your most entertaining visits on the show.
I do not recommend double scorpions ever, and I will tell you, if anyone's curious, that was a dry January for me after that show.
You submitted your certificate saying you completed your program. We'll welcome you back.
It was.
We had no problem with it. We just wish we had known it was going to be one of those shows. We all would have partaken.
That's right. Yeah.
Leaned in.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, okay. Thank you all, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.